Welcome back to OPA Podcast, episode 78. Today, we come to you with a very quick and emergency podcast. I didn't expect to get this one out so soon, but here we are. Joined today by the full crew. Griffin is back. Say hi, Griffin.
Hello, everyone. I made it.
Along with Wyatt,
Howdy.
Soup,
Hello.
and myself, Jason O. But to start off the episode, go turn this to Griff here. What is your prediction for the Quick Lane Bowl versus Bowling Green? And off air, I know you mentioned if Rossi was going to be DC or not, and as far as we know, probably not. So, thoughts?
Yeah, I think they'll give somebody a look internally before, right?
I'd say in terms of like a score, I'm going to go 26-20
All right.
Gophers. This is revenge from the Sanford failure.
The PJ Fleck revenge game.
Yes.
And you're taking the over too.
Hell yeah, I'm taking the over. Cole Kramer's going off. To the defense! No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, his like farewell to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Thanks for the memories playing in the background.
Hail Mary pick.
Ouch.
Oof.
It's tough.
But all right. To get into the big news, it broke over the weekend. Defensive coordinator Joe Rossi, as we alluded to a bit earlier, has taken the position of defensive coordinator at Michigan State.
Pain.
Major pain.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into much further. They haven't, as obviously it was reported by Pete Thamel on X or Twitter, and was confirmed later on. No details yet as of the contract details, but I think I'm leaning towards. I think Joe Rossi probably got a big pay bump to leave, but then also,
We'll see, I guess.
yeah, but then also I wouldn't be surprised if, like, he just wanted to move on from maybe being coached under, like, working under PJ, but I don't know. But that's just me.
I mean, he also gets to go test his mettle against, I guess not so much anymore now that it's divisionless football, but I'm assuming that he gets to play Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who if they have anybody else, that they're guaranteed to play, but aside from like next year's schedule, which I think has been released at this point.
Yeah. And then like whatever the repeated ones they announced are, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But then I also, I do forget though too that Michigan State has a pretty supportive donors program as well, or donors and NIL money, because like I think they're still paying Mel Tucker and
Mm-hmm.
and I think Mark D'Antonio.
What an
Incredible.
shit show things are at Michigan State. I wonder what the offer is, or is it just that Joe Rossi thinks that his best chance at getting a head coaching gig is going to a school that's got a little bit more, you know, recent positive history. Like this is a team that's been to the college football playoffs. Not
Yeah.
super recently, but they've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And we know Michigan State has, talented defensive players too, especially some of them announcing on Twitter that they're returning for the upcoming season.
Their model is also much more focused on athletics than a Minnesota is, for example.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just how far Michigan State's defense, too, has fallen has been crazy because there were some very good borderline, like maybe elite defenses for a very long time under D'Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they see Rossi building it up from, 2017, 2018 till now. And, they were ranked in like the top 20 overall defense in the country. And so they look at him and they're like, well, we can give this man the bag and he can rebuild in just a few years.
Mm. Yeah, and I think it's also a little bit of job security for him too, because it wasn't the best end of the season here for him. Things were kind of trending in a bad direction on defense, and I think next year with the new version of the Big Ten, someone might have to fall on the sword for PJ, or PJ himself might fall on the sword, like we've talked about, and Rossi going to like a first year head coach program that's like very invested in athletics just seems like a better long term like move for him if he wants to be a
Yeah,
coordinator.
it definitely does give him a, either an opportunity to go be a head coach to like earn his way to head coaching somewhere, or, in the absence of that, I agree with your assessment that it's a little bit more security because he's not going to get fired year one.
Yeah. So I think that also plays a part.
Mm-hmm. But I think all of us are pretty bummed out that he's leaving, but I think wish him the best, pretty much. If we play against you, we'll root against you that for that one game, and then back to normal.
Yeah, he'll be a guy where I'll always kind of like seeing him do well.
Yeah, you can't help but root for a guy like Uncle Joe.
Uncle
mean-
Joe Rossi.
I think Jason puts it really well, and he says like you have to wish him the best. He's a guy who we showed a lot of love on this podcast over his time in Minnesota, and well deserved. He's going to be missed.
To segue a little bit, I'm looking at the current staff on the
I'm
defensive
also
side of the
looking at
ball.
the current staff. Nick
So,
Monroe is currently the co-defensive coordinator.
well, he is the co-defensive coordinator and cornerbacks coach. So, I could see him being the interim play caller because he didn't call plays this year. It was all Uncle Joe. So,
Well, no, Uncle Joe called plays this year, but
Mhm.
like, Nick Monroe gets his chance to shine, I suppose.
yeah, because let's see. I'm looking through Daily Gopher. I'm just going to shout out to those guys getting this article out so fast, like a prospect. Like they already went crazy. Like, hey, let's just check out who's in house and out of the program that we can check out. And apparently, Monroe was with Syracuse the previous season and was calling defensive plays during the Pinstripe Bowl. But that's about it in terms of experience. Next up, in house, Danny Collins is the safeties coach. Tem Lubaku, I think that's how I pronounce it. No, wrong person.
Safeties coach, you said?
No. Yeah, Danny Collins. I think he's safeties.
I think he would be the betting favorite right now.
And then obviously we have Winston Delalabudir on the D line, but
I was gonna say my personal favorite, who
be
almost
wild.
certainly doesn't get the call, but God, would it be fun if he did?
Honestly, I think if Danny Collins gets hired, he probably will get a promotion of some sort.
Winston would?
Yeah, probably just to fill, behind, just to, like Danny Collins moves up, there's an opening, so they probably try and bring somebody else up, and then who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But
I mean,
yeah.
if Danny Collins gets the promotion, and you're Nick Monroe, who was co-defensive coordinator this past year, are you taking that well?
Come again? You broke up for a second for me.
If you're Nick Monroe sitting there, co-defensive coordinator this past season, you think it's probably in the bag, and then Danny Collins is the guy who gets the promotion. Do you take that well?
I mean, Danny Collins, I think, has been with PJ for like a very long time, like since he started coaching.
Like,
For sure.
Like when he
I'm
was,
not saying Danny Collins is the wrong option.
Yeah, he started as an analyst and graduate assistant with PJ.
Yeah.
So it's long time assistant.
No, I think they'll just be like a still co-defensive coordinator situation.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be a co-defensive coordinator situation, probably, no matter what.
Yeah.
Mhm. But then there is one name that still piques my interest out of the program, though.
It's
Going,
like not like they deserve a raise after last year. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
why would I make you a
Yeah.
coordinator? Like, you guys
yeah,
weren't good.
yeah. No, but there is a name that it's piquing my interest outside of the program that PJ still has ties with. Rutgers defensive coordinator Joe Harris-Simiak, who was
Bring him
Yeah.
back. Bring him back.
our defensive backs coach and offensive co-defensive coordinator back a couple years ago. Um, I mean, right now he's being paid 1 mil annually. So if you want to poach him out of Rutgers, you better be giving him a big pay bump. And they led a really
Mm-hmm.
good defense this year at Rutgers.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
That would
And
be
he,
interesting,
and
though.
I would love to have him back, but like our assistant salary pool has been near the bottom of
Yeah.
the Big Ten since like for like a very long time. So I mean I know like Uncle Joe was set to make like 1.15 this year, but like this is like a hire that absolutely has to be nailed and can't just be like I just don't think you can do like a situation. I don't want our defense to fall too far.
You want them
Uh,
to like grab like a legit coordinator, is what you're
yeah,
saying. Yeah.
basically, and like pay him some good money for now. Then you
Yeah.
can always work on the assistant pool over the years because it's great as it's the highest it's ever been, but it's still
Yeah.
below a lot of our peers in the Big Ten.
It's a great point that I don't think gets talked about enough. Like when people talk about how frustrated they are with the Gophers, it's just like you have to like know about this stuff.
Yeah, versus what our rivals Wisconsin and Iowa has a higher salary pool for their assistants compared to us. And Joe Rossi was the one that was the first highest paid defensive coordinator in Gopher football history. It speaks a lot that like we're not up there in terms of salary for the assistants still.
It's just painful because football is what makes athletics go for like a lot of these schools,
Mm-hmm.
especially ours. So
Which is
it's
why
like
they invest in it.
it's exactly.
But we shall see, and probably in the coming week or two or three, we'll probably hear more on who's going to be the play caller on the defensive side of the ball when it comes to the bowl game. But we just got to sit tight and wait. But all right, let's move on. Um, Last podcast we chatted that we had Max Brosmer, the transfer quarterback from New Hampshire. We chatted about him last week. There have been more names that popped in this past weekend announcing their transfer to the University of Minnesota. So I'll just rattle them off here. Jordan Gerard, defensive tackle from Florida International.
D-line, I
Yep.
think.
Yep.
Oh,
Ethan
yeah.
Robinson, cornerback from Bucknell.
Sure.
Eddie Tusum, rush end out of Navarro College. And then this is the one that piqued my interest outside of Max, Trent Howland from Indiana, running back. And then that is it as of today, the 11th of December.
We got another running back to transfer into the program.
Yep.
Yes, dude.
And what I love about Trent too is he had an offer from us out of high school, so I think he definitely like favored us a little bit, knowing that like, hey, they liked me, maybe I should give him a chance. Plus,
Yeah,
you're
maybe I made a mistake in the first place.
maybe, or he knows
No, just
he could be a solid 2 or 3 behind Darius
you
Taylor.
you'll actually be in a good place for your fresh start, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And plus, he can
Place where they
play
wanted you all along.
when he's a running back and he can play on defense. Apparently, so the Hoosiers used him in 2022 on defense for a little bit. So PJ likes those players that can play in different positions. And our linebackers this year took a little bit of a hit. So I think he'll be a great fit for the program.
Yeah, and I
I
think
mean,
they're all great positions to see them targeting, right? Like it's nice to see them
offense, defense.
understanding, and also understanding the positions of needs.
Yep. Yeah, to see them go after an edge rusher, a cornerback, a D lineman, running back, and QB, like those are probably the five biggest positions you could tackle in the offseason. And they did it.
And then with National Signing Day coming up in what, 9 days, 10 days here,
Hmm.
um, we still have that commitment from that high school quarterback. I forgot his name already. That's still committed, intends to sign on early signing day, which is a plus. So, assuming things go as what we expect, Max Brosmer will likely be your, elder statesman starting quarterback, and then the new guy will be sitting under his wing as a redshirt, pretty much. Plus, I haven't looked at the recruiting stuff yet, but as far as I can tell, most of the guys that are committed to us are still intend to sign with the Gophers coming up.
Yeah, and I think it's good you bring in like a competent backup, and then you also have what's it called? You also have like the freshman just gets to sit there and learn for a year. So he doesn't have to even be the backup if something happens to your first quarterback, right?
Yep. And I think the Gophers are still going at it in the portal too, because they offer like a few more wide receivers, another running back, other defensive linemen,
Yeah, I
and
think they've
then
done a good job of like having a strategy for attacking the portal and recruiting and like meshing those two together.
which is very exciting because you look at like PJ's program as the last two seasons, so this past season 23 and then in 22, it was like when we actually dipped our toes in the portal and like we may have gone what, maybe three guys, maybe like three like standout guys that could get on the either offense or defense, or maybe four. But just to see like we're at five already and could expect more, especially with the new age of NIL and the transfer portal, I think it's going to be crucial for the
Yeah,
program.
I think kind of what their plan is to chase recruits with very very high upside in these like in this like 3 to 4 star area that they play in, and then fill out the rest of the roster with high end like transfers from like the MAC and stuff like and smaller programs, and then you like not like G5 programs, right? And you depend on your recruits to give you that ceiling while you raise your floor by going after like these proven guys in lower leagues. And I think it's an interesting philosophy for them, and I think it shows they're like kind of adapting to the quote way things are now.
But it's going to be interesting to see though, because obviously we can be excited for what these transfers have done already in their programs, but it's just that we won't know until we see them on the field, like say spring game coming up,
Yeah,
and then
I
regular
think
season.
they've shown the ability to find guys in the portal though. Like for the vast majority, they've been contributing depth guys like at least, so that's fine.
But
Just
yeah,
one off season, though. I just want to actually have what feels like three steps forward instead of taking one big step back with this huge position or this one like coordinator leaving and then
Yeah.
just feeling like you have to like constantly make up for it in
Mm-hmm.
other ways. Just one off season. That's all we ask.
Yeah, I mean the Darius Taylor news, the Justin Wally news, the Daniel Jackson news, I think all of that is big that those guys are all coming back too. So I think those are some big positives that we have going right now.
But yeah, anything else on the recruiting and transfer portal side?
I don't know, not really. Like I think all the guys they're getting are very highly rated on like the 24/7 rankings and stuff, and it's nice to see.
Do
Alright.
we know who other teams are getting in the conference? Do we have information on that at all?
I think if it was anything that important, we would know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we don't. Michigan State doesn't have their quarterback yet. I assume.
No idea.
Nope.
I don't know.
No clue if it's DJ
I think-
Ukulele or anything.
I was
so-
gonna say I heard DJ might actually go somewhere else. So
Who knows?
who knows?
I think people are waiting for like bowl games and stuff to play out. See who
Get
gets
certain
fired.
dominoes
See
to
who.
fall.
Yeah. See who's available.
Watch more chaos ensue after the bowl season's over.
It always does. That's why they wait for it.
Kyle McCord to the Spartans. That's my guess.
Ooh.
Oh,
What
I saw like a
hot
weird tweet.
take.
I saw a weird tweet about like Tyler, like the Miami kid, Van Dyke or whatever, to Wisconsin.
Ooh.
I was like, that's spicy. That would be spicy.
Oh yeah, just Tanner Mordecai. This is his last year of eligibility, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought he had one more. Never
Yeah.
mind. I know. Well, outside of recruiting and stuff, I know Soup tweeted this earlier, and I agree. Tyler Nubin isn't first team All American. And what Cooper DeJean got it right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the AP does like, or Football Writers Association of America does like they do DBs. They don't do like two safeties, like two corners or whatever, and a defensive back. And that's what the AP does. They just do like 5 or whatever DBs. And I don't think you can tell me there are 5 better DBs in the country than Tyler Nubin. I just don't believe it. I'm sorry.
Still looking at you, Jim Thorpe Award.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like everybody is throwing Cooper DeJean a pity party because he made a mistake that cost them the game against the Gophers, and he refuses to admit that he just made a mistake, and it happens. And then he got hurt, which is unfortunate. But I feel like everybody's just throwing him a pity party since. I understand he's good, but he's missed a ton of time. Tyler's way more productive than him and plays all the time. Like, what are we doing?
Nah, I'll just wait to the day when Tyler gets drafted over Cooper in the draft and just slays.
I don't think that'll happen just because of how corners are valued.
Yeah.
But Tyler will be like a top 50 guy pretty easily.
Well, Tyler's in this class. Is Cooper also in this class?
Yeah, he'll go. He's gonna be he could be like the first corner again if he's healthy.
Boo.
Yeah. But oh well.
But the thing is, he's not healthy. He's got no stats, and like, yeah, it's unfortunate he got hurt, but like Tyler's been like a difference maker for this Gophers team all year. He's basically carried them on defense by making plays, and it's ridiculous that he doesn't get like as much respect for it. He's second team All American, but like he deserved to be a first team All American with this season he played this year.
Oh yeah, did you finish that mock draft you were running there, Soup? Just for our listeners and viewers, off air before we started recording, we're talking about how the Vikings won 3-0 yesterday, and then the Bears winning and still keeping their first overall pick. And do we have the results, Soup?
Well, yeah, I already closed it, but I remember I remember the part that matters. Like I don't remember anything past round 4. Who cares, right? So, I just traded back from like 1 to 3 for like a ton of picks from Arizona. Like I think I got 15 in there, and their pick next year, and another top 50 pick for this year, and just like loaded up. And I went back to 3, and I was like, okay, I'm just picking Marvin Harrison because the Patriots take a quarterback for sure, right? No, the Patriots take Harrison. I'm like, crap. Okay, what do I do now? I trade back again, so someone could take Drake May. I pick up 11, so I pick at 11 and 15, and I pick man. Now I'm stumbling to remember. I'm just remembering the draft value, like the return, because that's really all I care about right now for like trading back. Because I just think we should keep Fields. So I don't really want to pick a quarterback in the top 5. I don't really trust them to do that right. So uh, I think you just trade
I'm
back and take
also a
like best
Justin Fields
available.
truther, actually.
Oh, I took Brock Bowers. That's who I took at 6.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
into
get.
it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Wyatt, and Soup. I know you've been a big defender of Justin
Yeah,
Fields. Like,
it's coming back. Hold on. Brock Bowers, the D tackle from Illinois, Drazon Newton, and Romeo Odunze.
nice.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was a fun first round. I was like, that's great. I love this.
That was fun.
This went super well. I was like, I didn't get Marvin Harrison, but ending up with Odunze too was huge. Plus Newton, because I had picks like 11, 15, and 6 from all those trade backs, like 2 trade backs basically, and those were my 3 picks. And I was like, yeah, that was great.
But would the Bears actually draft another quarterback though? Like,
The thing is I don't think you have to draft a guy in the top 10. Like I don't. Well, when you have Fields. Like I don't see why everyone wants to run this kid out of town. Like I see a perfectly, you know, competent starter right now who I think a lot of teams in the NFL would love to have right now. Would you guys like Justin Fields right now?
I would now.
You guys, I think, would love Justin Fields right now.
I would love just. I think Kevin O'Connell could maybe make it work.
Yeah, it's just a Shanahan offense. He would be so good. That's what all we've been saying.
yeah.
We're trying over here.
But then
No one's listening to us.
but then Luke Getsy just keeps sabotaging him at every turn.
I don't know. I don't. I mean, I'm like really trying super hard to wait for the end of the season, but he just that offensive coordinator just frustrates me so much.
Do you think he goes?
Yeah, their like script is really good, and then after that, for the rest of the first half, they just look like they have no idea what they're doing, and then they come out in the second half and they look really good, and it's like, okay, well, what happened in the second quarter? Like, what was that? Like, can we just not do that? Because they just get like so stubborn with what they want to do in the first half, and they don't, sound familiar,
Hmm.
and they don't want to change, and then they do, and they do well, and they're like, whoa, that's crazy.
PJ. And maybe Kevin O'Connell.
Wild. I don't know. It's just, you know how they are, football coaches.
Set in their ways and refuse to
So,
change. Sounds about right.
I think the Bears have turned the defense around. I think you guys saw that here. I think that was real.
Well, I thought in terms of the NFC North right now, Minnesota, because like we had a pretty bad defense last year for the Vikings, and then the Bears also took a big step up as well. So I think both are very, very good units right now. I was surprised that B-Flow, Brian Flores, is
Yeah.
somehow turned around like
That's
mostly same roster on the defensive side of the ball from last year.
and Wyatt, I know we were both at the game. My takeaway from that was like that was just a defensive slugfest. Like I didn't really think
Yeah.
anyone played too terribly.
And like even like Josh Dobbs throws 4 picks in that game, but what happens is he throws 2 picks, and then his wide receivers tip 2 picks into the Bears' hands.
And Danielle
So it's
Hunter was unreal.
like Josh Dobbs was the person who probably played the worst in that game, and even he didn't really play that bad. Like he played bad, but it's not as bad as the numbers say.
Yeah.
It's just the defenses were that good that day.
Yeah. I think that was real for both teams, and that's why people were like surprised by it.
The Bears' defense is pretty legit.
Yeah, that's why I'm like talking about it now, because like I didn't want to say anything last week because I was like, let's see them do it again. Like it was cool to see them do it against the Vikings, but like do it against a real team, I guess.
Fan,
Not to throw shade, but like a real quarterback, right? Like they've beaten a bunch of bad quarterbacks.
Yeah. If I were a Bears fan, and my brother-in-law is a Bears fan actually,
Cool.
so
cool guy.
I'm I'm Bears fan adjacent to us in a number of ways, but if I were a Bears fan right now, I not be excited. You're a team that's showing that you've got real promise, and it's probably not a playoff team this year, barring a
That's fine.
lot of things going the right
care.
way. It'd
Don't
be
care.
legitimately crazy if the Bears made the playoffs, but it's a team that's shown that it has the promise to perform. And also, it's the team that's got the number 1 pick right now, and it's not even theirs.
I know and that trade like destroyed the Panthers organization.
Oh, the Panthers are done. That's like they went and traded for a quarterback who's probably too small.
They're down horrendous.
They fired their head coach already in his first season, right? And I think they're dysfunctional with their current owner too, David Tepper. It's a shit show over there. But we'll let Carolina suffer because the Bears are going to thrive in those picks.
All right, let's calm down. Let's get through the season. Let's get to the end of the season with a healthy Justin Fields, and honestly, like that's kind of where I'm at.
All right.
Are you pro a new coaching staff in Chicago?
See, I think this win made it much more difficult because this is like the defense is clearly getting better, and it's like I don't know if you want to.
Are you pro a new offensive coordinator?
As of right now, yes, but I'll wait till the end of the year.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair.
Like I think when they open it up, they do well, but they just seem so scared to open it up because I know they're worried about Justin like taking a negative play, but like he is on a good streak of it right now, and I think they need to I think they did trust him a little more last game, and I think they're working on their relationship.
They trusted him a little more last game, and he delivered with it.
Yeah, the 4th and 13.
He gives you a win.
The 4th and 13 touchdown to DJ Moore. Like
that's some wild shit.
That's not something the Bears do though. Like we don't punish teams for making mistakes. Like every time that would happen, you'd always just scream at your TV or like in your head, you'd just be like, "Free play, go!" And they just would never do it. They'd just be like, "Oh yeah, we got him," and it's just like, dude, like do something, you know? And they did it. They like finally punished a team for like making a mistake like that, and I think that was like the most like eyebrow raising part of it for a lot of us.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully, Justin can keep that streak up. Right now, the Vikings are in another quarterback dilemma.
If he isn't the reason they lose for the rest of the season, then he'll be the quarterback next year.
I don't know if the Vikings are truly in a quarterback dilemma. They've,
I mean, you just don't have a good backup. That's a different problem.
Yeah.
It's a different problem, and it's a potential salary cap issue. Depending on how much Kirk wants now.
Kirk will restructure after this injury.
Kirk's not under contract next year.
Well, then he has him for cheap. You'll get a little bit of a discount.
So the issue with Kirk is that this is his contract year, but he has I think 2 to 3 seasons of void years tacked on. So like we're still paying Kirk after 2-3 seasons. It's on our books. So but then the cap, how the number.
Oh, you guys are doing void years? We used to do those.
Yeah, but it's only for Kirk because right now I believe.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because I think Daniil Hunt, a lot of the restructured contracts, like Adam Thielen, Eric Kendricks, are no longer on the roster, and their void years were actually this year, and then they're zeroed out for the next season. Daniil Hunter right now, I hope we re-sign him because they restructured or redid his contract to where he plays only this year, but then he's a free agent this off season. And he has a monster of a season, like up there with Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt. So I hope he gets re-signed, but I could see Kirk getting re-signed, but then not. Hopefully I don't. I wish they, or I hope they don't put void years on his contract, because like, I mean, Kirk made it work with this offense, but then the D line looked atrocious yesterday against the Raiders, and injuries didn't help either. But I don't know. But yeah, somehow we're still firmly in 6th place in the playoff race for the NFC.
It's gonna be fun to see the Packers get past us with Jordan fucking Love. Oh my god.
Well, we shall see.
Don't put that evil on me.
I
feel like
I
that's
wish I could
specifically targeted
stop.
at me.
Look, Wyatt, our Lord and Savior Nick Mullins will save the Vikings organization. He's going to come through, just take us on a tear the rest of the season.
Nope. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback here next year. Because of course he fucking is. And then there's going to be 15 more years of sadness.
Just repeat the for the Brett Favre the one rental season.
Well, Brett Favre had 2 seasons here.
Well, he had
one and a half, right?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Very injured his last season.
Those were the Vikings' best years.
Honestly, yeah.
Can I give a big fuck you to Sean Payton for that one?
Ooh. I will join you in that.
I'll join you too.
I was going to say, I think we can all agree.
Wait, but no, Soup is a Bears fan. I don't think he wasn't there with our misery. What happened with Bounty Gate?
I don't know. He seems like a dick anyway.
I think a lot of people don't like Sean Payton, though.
I mean, I've read about it and I've seen videos about it, but
no, there's 2 things I hate in the NFL right now, and that is 3. First is Sean Payton. Second is the Saints. I still hate their franchise. I don't know why. The fans are nice though. I will say that.
No, you know why. Don't you know why.
And then lastly,
it's justified.
Whatever the hell is going on with Patrick Mahomes' family, I just hate that. Like, it's not needed.
What an absolute meltdown from him.
That's such a bad look for him.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's this is like villain origin story for him.
He's got like main character syndrome in the same way that his brother and his wife do. But like, we just haven't seen it because he's been the main character.
He's been on the right side of almost every single call. And he finally has one that just doesn't go his way, but it is completely correct.
Yeah.
And he just thinks...
Yeah.
Fundamentally
he's still mad.
right.
He's still mad about Green Bay.
Yeah, it looks like that. Because I remember what you said, Soup, on the group chat or on Twitter, like, hey, when you welcome to Green Bay, where the refs do not.
Yeah. Like, that's like, I always laugh at people when they like moan about the officiating in Green Bay, because I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, like, welcome to life, bro. Great, get in line. Like,
but yeah, it's a bad optic, because like, you think about for like his time in the NFL, it's always been like he was always the one constant, like outside of the rest of his family, that's assholes or like main character syndrome, and this has made it worse today this past weekend. So there's a 4th thing. I'm just done with the like. I love Taylor Swift. I love Travis Kelce, but can we like not talk about them every fucking broadcast, please?
No, dude, for the ratings.
And the memes.
True.
I want to know how much money the NFL has made directly on Taylor Swift being at football games.
Well,
like, there's gotta be.
I got coworkers
serious
that are.
cash coming in.
I got coworkers who are major Swifties, and they're gonna watch every fucking Chiefs game to hopefully see Taylor on the screen and
that's wild.
Cheer him on. So
that's wild.
I hate this generation. I sound so old.
Swifties are the worst. Swifties are the worst. I don't care. Come at me.
No, I agree with you.
No, I'm saying like internet, come
And
at
it
me.
live on the
Oh,
pod.
okay.
That's brave.
No, yeah, I'm
But then
putting it out
again,
there.
not many people listen to our pod, so
Soup's a Bears fan. Nothing can hurt him.
That's true.
I mean, we can say the same being Minnesota fans, but we still get heartbroken after every season. So
Yeah, but you guys like it.
Yeah,
You
that's
like,
because we keep
you roll
thinking that there's
around
hope.
in it. You guys have fun down there.
speaking of which, go Wolves.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
don't you guys have the best team in the NBA?
For the
Finally,
first time in ever.
and hopefully they don't shit the bed tonight.
Hey, my buddy texted
Who
me
they got
and was
tonight?
like,
Oh, it's New Orleans.
my buddy
Xander,
texted me, no, and he was like, I'm gonna be in town, like let's go for a game, but like the Lakers tickets are like kind of expensive, and I was like, okay, so when you guys are bad, it's why is no one here, blah blah blah, this that whatever, and then when they're good, it's why are the tickets so expensive? Like, dude, shut up. Like,
which game are you looking at? 21st or the 30th?
we'll talk.
Okay.
All right. But I think we should probably end it here. We're almost the time. But but no, to everyone watching or listening to Opa Podcast, episode 78, thank you so much. Today's episode was to recap the news that broke for Gopher football, particularly with defensive coordinator Joe Rossi and some transfer and recruiting stuff. And then just the crew's normal banter about.
Ooh, do we want to end on a sad note?
Don't we always?
Do it.
The Gophers just lost a 4-star, so that's great.
Yeah.
They got a decommit after being on a visit to USC last weekend. So
It
I
was
wonder
the
what's
Well,
quarterback.
he's going to USC.
No, it's the defensive line from Prior Lake.
Boo. Stay home.
Did he get poached after hearing the NDSU head coach taking on that linebackers position?
Probably. I bet they were recruiting him already before. Like the guy from NDSU. Like, I'm sure they had already made contact. So
Yeah,
I think once he went to USC, he was like, hey, pretty nice out here.
Rip. But all right, cool.
Also, here's a bag of money. Bye.
It's funny. I'm seeing NDSU fans get pissed off, and I'm like, dude,
Why?
why?
Like, you guys had to know this was coming eventually.
Like, either he's going to leave to go to like
They're not just going to
FBS
make him
program.
a Power 5 DC. That's just not happening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But oh wells.
He's going to have to be a position coach for like 2 or 3 years. It'll be fine. He'll be really good.
But cool.
I think that'll be interesting for him. Like, finally, like some top end talent, you know?
And maybe actually turn around that USC defense.
Yeah, but just being able to coach like top end talent.
Yeah. But we shall
That has to
see.
be appealing to him.
We shall see, especially with USC going to be in the Big Ten next year, along with Washington, Oregon, and Cal. But all right, we'll end it here. I'm one of your hosts, Jay Snow, along with Soup.
I'm okay.
Griffin.
Go Wolves, baby! Best start franchise history.
And Wyatt.
I am also here.
And we'll see you guys next time. And
Oh.
Oh.